It's Nolan.
Now, before we get started, make sure y'all hitting that like button. Make sure y'all sharing it on your respective platforms. Let somebody know what we're doing today. Now, let's get into the show. There's a reason rappers can turn any story into a hit track. Just like there's a reason Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm with over 1,000 attorneys and more than 100 offices nationwide. If you've been seriously injured in an accident, your case could be worth millions. But the truth is, a lot of people either don't file at all or get taken advantage of by insurance companies. When you hire Morgan & Morgan, it's like hiring a legal army that has your back. If you're injured because of someone else's negligence, you deserve to be paid. No shortcuts, no lowball offers. In fact, they've secured some major verdicts in the past. For example, in Florida, they got a victim who was in a life-altering car crash, $12 million. 34 times the highest insurance offer. They got another victim in Philadelphia, $26 million. 40 times the highest insurance offer. Not all law firms are created equal. Morgan & Morgan is the biggest for a reason. They will fight for the biggest award possible and have won a lot. So if you're ever injured, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. Their fee is free unless you win. That's right, no upfront costs. They only get paid if you get paid. You can start your claim now by clicking the link in the description or by scanning the QR code on screen from your phone's camera. Again, if you find yourself injured, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. Don't say I never told you nothing, man. What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Hope everybody's doing well out there this Saturday evening. In this video, we're going to be getting into Pusha T making the statement that he is currently over diss records, over rap beef, because the stakes are no longer the same. Once upon a time, when you get in a rap beef, you could win and the other competitor's career would be over, according to Pusha T. That's how he framed it. So I guess for the foreseeable future, we won't be hearing any more jabs, disses, or any of the like coming from Pusha T. That'd be very interesting. He's made a kind of a living for himself doing this for the past, I would say, decade. You know what I'm saying? Like we have come to know Pusha T even in songs that are completely unrelated to beef. He gonna throw a jab or two. But at this point, he says he's been through it and is now over it. Let's go ahead and get to the quote. So here we are on Consequence of Sound, where the interview has taken place. Unfortunately, the entire interview has not been released. It'll be out next week. But at this point, this is what they were willing to share with the people. Pusha T says diss tracks are dead to me. Okay? So they say, like Picasso growing bored of paint, Pusha T says that diss tracks are dead to me. In a new interview with Consequence, the L. Ron Hubbard of the cupboard explains that it's not the same ransom anymore. Back in the day, to me, it felt like it could be career ending. Now it's not. It doesn't hold as much weight. You still get another shot at it, it seems like. I've kind of been through that chapter and I'm over it, he continues. I'm somewhere right now where I don't even want to make music with other people. Nevertheless, have anybody else in my music or be the focus of my music. So not only is Pusha T somewhat over the beef, over talking about people, he say he damn near over even sharing space with niggas on a record, which makes a lot of sense because let's be clear, when it came to Let God Sort Him Out, he was just content to be making music with his brother again. You know what I'm saying? So as long as him and his brother are side by side, I'm not too surprised by what it is that he's saying, because that's the ultimate feature. You know, although it doesn't count as a feature, he'd been trying to get Malice back in the booth to do Clipse music for a very long time, and it didn't happen until this year. So yeah, I can understand why you don't want nobody else, because you don't trust nobody else. You know what I mean? One day you could be making music with a nigga. The next day, y'all could be on the outs. And now you're making another set of diss records, which he seems to be over. So it makes a lot of sense to me. Okay? He says, what we're doing right here with Clipse, to me, is so next level. I feel like the taste level is above everything else. even being caught up in the world of it, I don't like even the world of the people of the back and forth. If I don't see eye to eye with you, there's probably things I don't want to be there about. You know what I'm saying? So I'm guessing we won't be hearing no more shots at Ye, no more shots at Drake, no more shots at Travis Scott, or anyone else for that matter. They say during our interview with Malice, his brother and partner in Clipse backs him up with a reference to one of Jay-Z's most iconic diss tracks, Takeover. He raps, "A wise man once told me, don't argue with fools, because people from a distance can't tell who is who." Right? And that's a reference to when you argue with fools, people on the outside looking in gonna see both of y'all looking like two fools. You could be 100,000% in the right, and they still gonna look at you like, look at these crazy motherfucks out here causing a ruckus. Right? They say Pusha T is responsible for some of the most unforgettable diss tracks never to have been performed at the Super Bowl. What? What the hell? I know Kendrick performed Not Like Us at the Super Bowl, but who else got fucking dissed on the Super Bowl stage? Why would y'all put it like that? Got me about to fucking crash my modem over here. Pusha T is responsible for some of the most unforgettable diss tracks never to have been performed at the Super Bowl, including the story of Adidon, which put Drake through the ringer, the new Clipse banger So Be It, which rags on Travis Scott, and Chains and Whips, which takes shots at Drake's pal Jim Jones, and a lengthy discography of attacks on Lil Wayne. I forgot about Wayne. That's how we even got to Drake. But now, according to Cocaine Dr. Seuss, it's kind of dead to me. It's the ransom of what a diss track used to bring. There was a clear winner. Somebody would really bow out, and then that's it. The last man standing. Now it's just a whole bunch of noise. Even after we find winners, it's still noise. And it's like, man, then what's it for? Now, clearly, that's Drake. Ain't no doubt about it. Ain't no question. Ain't no, hey, caller, can I find out who you're talking about here? That's Drake. Okay? Drake done got whacked in rap battles back to back, all pun intended, and he's still out here trying to act like he up for some sort of competitive war back and forth. Round two, y'all don't be checking on me. Y'all should have checked my post instead of checking my posts. Nigga, don't nobody give a fuck about your goddamn post, nigga. You ain't got your hand on the pulse of the people. There's a lot of people out here that want your musical pulse to flatline. Okay? That's what Pusha T saying. He like, man, back in the day when a nigga lost. Clear lost. Now, the part that I do disagree with Pusha T on is losing a rap battle was not always a career-ending situation. As a matter of fact, the only career-ending situation we've actually witnessed was Ja Rule. And his career ain't over, but it was severely harmed, right? And I think that's what he's holding on to, is there being some level of like severity to losing a rap battle. But I think today, what we're seeing in the so-called rap battle space or the rap beef space is much more akin to the actual rap battles that we see on stage, Smack, URL, and the other leagues that are out there. You know what I'm saying? I think it's more akin to that in today's day and age. And again, I'm not so sure that the stakes were ever by default at that level. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if would you say that LL Cool J ended Kool Moe Dee's career in their beef in the 80s? I know Kool Moe Dee didn't have much of a career after the 80s, you know, going into the 90s, but I also feel like his style was very much outdated by the time the 90s came around. You know what I mean? He was kind of the older guy anyway he was an older rapper who was known in the battle scene and stuff like that, but he was on his last leg during that period. I don't feel like it was just like, oh, Kumo D's the top nigga. He loses to LL Cool J and it's over. Not to my memory. Somebody could let me know. Do you feel like MC Shan's career was directly over because of Boogie Down Productions, The Bridge is Over? Because to my understanding, MC Shan went through his own issues of drug abuse and alcohol abuse and just personal shit. Perhaps that was due to depression of taking the L. I don't know. I can't say that. I won't attribute it to that. But I don't know if it was completely interlocked into just the fan consensus being so bad that he couldn't come back and drop more music. Whereas that was kind of more so the story for Ja Rule. You know what I mean? When we look at Tupac and Biggie, I don't think we ever really crowned a winner or a loser in that situation. Really, it's a matter of favorites. But ultimately, everybody lost in that. They lost their lives, and we lost two icons and pillars in hip hop. So we can't really say that. Um, as it pertains to other beefs, I'm just trying to see like who else was detrimental. Cannabis wasn't even over with the LL situation. You know what I mean? To me, Second Round Knockout was better than the LL Cool J record. But unfortunately, Cannabis was so obsessed, you know what I mean, that he just kept making battle music. Then he went off into this weird obsession with Eminem. And niggas was like, man, get this nigga the fuck out of here. Oh, computer using ass nigga. You know what I mean? This is like early 2000s. Niggas wasn't really on a computer like that. Get this old AOL dial up ass nigga out of here. You know? It was a grave of his own doing. I think he could have had way more longevity. His what was the name of that album that came out? 2000 BC was actually harder than his first album. You know? So I don't feel like his career was ended by LL Cool J. A lot of times niggas be spiraling out of control because they can't take the L, but the public would have loved another great record. You know what I'm saying? So I think Pusha T, I understand the sentiment. I understand the idea of not wanting to make music strictly for dissing. I think a lot of people, I don't fall into this category by the way, but I think a lot of people do look at Pusha T as a beef rapper. They look at him like, oh, people don't be checking for Pusha T unless he's saying somebody's name or aiming it at somebody or throwing subliminals and shots and stuff like that. I think that there's definitely a population in hip hop that looks at him that way. So I'm sure he ain't got no problem with, deading that perspective anyway. Like, fuck it. I ain't gonna talk about none of you niggas. No way. I don't give a fuck about y'all. And if you know Pusha T, he's a colder individual. I don't think he gives a fuck if niggas be living or dying. For real, for real. So I don't disagree with the stance. I just disagree with the angle, right? And the beautiful thing about Let God Sort Him Out is although there was a healthy amount of shots on the record, that's not really what we liked the most about it. You know what I'm saying? It was the music, it was the storytelling, it was the perspective, it was Malice getting us up to date. It was the birds don't sing, that personal element that we had never really gotten as much of in Clipse discography anyway. It was the infectious nature of the rhythms, the beats. Like it was just a very high level hip hop album, you know what I'm saying? And if they could continue to make that with their next project, then I don't think people are going to be looking for it because they're riding off of very good momentum. Despite my feelings about Pharrell and that weird shit that nigga been saying lately, if they've already made the music and been riding off of that energy, I think that they can do it again. I don't know if they're gonna come back to back with the same amount of interest because I think they took a lot of people by surprise this year. But I know I would be one of the people certainly ready and willing to take a listen to what they have to say on the next project. And they already have been promising new music. It's just a matter of when we receive it, all right? Let me know what y'all think of all this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, become an insider. Thank y'all for getting us to 36,000 subscribers. Let's keep on moving. Next milestone is 40K. Let's see if we could do it in a quick fashion, all right? Much love and respect, y'all. Peace. Over fame in this bitch, yeah. The glory of living righteous is setting in. My street knowledge and education's a perfect blend. Young mogul, independent, I've been setting trends. The first one from my family to be faithfully wed. Fuck niggas and the horses that they riding on. I see this shit from all angles like a polygon. I'll never politic and the drama be piling on. Father and great son acknowledged like I'm Bobby Bonds. Conversation with my lady about the paper route. 5 sit bank accounts every day I make it count. They down talking my commentary for hating now. Well, I can take it cause I'm bodying your favorite now, please. I can do this shit in my sleep. I been writing for these niggas, y'all read it and weep. I been fighting these niggas if you speak on the street. I'll turn your birthday party into New Year's Eve. Don't let me take it there. We ain't playing fair. This the ATL, Southside nigga moving furniture like Wayfair. Life on hold, no insurance for your healthcare. Lifeline gone, so you wanna be a millionaire? Well, let me tell you about this world I built. The women I dodged, the niggas that I read for filth. The sympathy calls, consulting for the stacks I built.